Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Jake's gonna jump over and beat me up. MMA. Friday. Block sticky, buddy. Ready? Ready to 50 cal. At home, I got the boxing glove.
I think he's inspired a lot of kids for grassroots boxing gyms that were struggling to pay bills are now full because of people like Jake Paul. Yeah. And for women's boxing, he's done amazing. It's women's rights to stand up and fight for equal right, and Jake's a pioneer of that. So he's done well on those two fronts.
Let's go. Whole card stacked next Friday. Let's fucking get it. Whole card. Movies. Come on. Stop playing, people. Look at this.
Great.
Look at this. Come on.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. And then
I don't dislike Jake Paul. I'm just a competitor, and we could talk about the fight, what he learned, what I learned. And as I said, and I stand on it, I think there's room for us to do some good business because we're crossing over from USA to the UK. We're here to take over, not take part. And I have to go in there, stomp all over him, inflict pain, and land that right hand that he says is my only weapon. I know the energy in that building when you've got 15,000 people calling out for entertainment, calling out for power punches. I know I'm going to deliver. I know Jake's going to deliver. So the people in the venue are going to be in for a good treat, and they're going to go home and say, what an event that was.
Bring the votes in, fellas.
Huh? You had taller shoes on it last week. You're shorter today. You're shorter today, bro. He's strong, bro. He's strong.
Miami Heat drinking me.
Tensions flared at the recent Miami press event when Anthony Joshua dropped the theatrics and made it clear he views the upcoming December fight as a legitimate professional assignment. Rather than leaning into spectacle, Joshua shifted the tone, emphasizing that this matchup isn't entertainment for him, it's work. His message cut through the noise, signaling that he's approaching the bout with full seriousness and zero room for games.
How the game goes?
Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna break his face, I'm gonna break his body up, I'm gonna stomp all over him. That's my mentality, right? That's a fighter's mentality, and I know what's in my heart, I know what's in my mind, and I'm here to compete. I'm here to prove myself that I'm the better fighter, so I'm looking forward to it, and I'll do that until I finish fighting, no matter who it is.
Who are those opponents lined up for you in 2026?
My focus is on Jake Paul.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Is that true though? Do you have those two fights lined up already?
They're not signed, they're not sealed, but they're opportunities really. They're just opportunities in the game. But my main focus that's signed and sealed is Jake Paul, so that's all I've got in front of me.
Do you agree with the assessment that if this fight goes longer than the Ngannou fight, it's kind of a...
No, Jake's a completely different fighter to Ngannou. Ngannou and Jake are completely different animals, so I can't compare the two together. Ngannou's never boxed before either, Jake's boxed before. They're just different. Ngannou's a lot more slower, but a lot bigger and more powerful. Jake's quicker. Jake boxes in a completely different style. Ngannou's more upright. He can switch his southpaw and orthodox. Jake doesn't really do that. They're completely different fighters, if I'm honest with you. So I'm not trying to compare. At the end of the day, it's just what happens at the end of the night. I'm not in there to try and knock Jake out in 10 seconds or 8 rounds. I'm going to go in there and do a job. I'm going to want to hurt him.
Joshua gave Paul credit for having the nerve to step into this level of danger. But he was clear about one thing. The preparation is no different than it would be for a world-class opponent. The camp is structured, the fundamentals are tight, and the strategy is built around sustained pressure, breaking rhythm, and wearing Paul down piece by piece.
Going in there, I can fight free. If he starts getting touched up and losing rounds, I think the cookie will crumble.
Do you agree?
Whatever he said. We'll see if the cookie crumbles. I don't know what to say. I'm confident in myself. Like, I'm not focusing on him. I just know what I can do, and I can't wait to show it. I'm not going to crumble. I'm solid. I've been through war.
The moment grew heated when Paul doubled down on his belief that he's about to pull off a massive upset, vowing to surprise everyone. Joshua, calm and unshaken, responded without theatrics. He made it clear he's backing himself completely, even saying he'd stake something personal on the outcome.
I like to challenge myself. I like to take on the biggest, the best. I said anyone, anytime, any place. I truly mean that. And I'm here to go out there and shock the world. I know what I'm capable of. I see him and what he's capable of. And we're going to go to war, and we'll see the best man that will win. But people say, oh, he's out of his mind, all of these things. I've gotten to where I'm at today because of delusional optimism. And so it's delusion until it's not, because look at where we're sitting today. No one ever thought that this would be possible, that we would be here when I first started boxing. And no one thinks I'm going to win. So join the list and be ready to be.
Joshua highlighted the genuine dangers involved, pointing to heavyweight power and the absolute requirement for focus at this level. He framed the matchup as a meeting point between commercial appeal and top-tier skill. While he acknowledged Paul's willingness to take the risk, his message carried an unmistakable caution. If Paul isn't prepared to endure sustained pressure, the fallout won't just be physical. It will echo through his reputation and the wider boxing world. As the heat from the Miami press conference fades, attention turns to Deontay Wilder, who adds a much heavier note of warning to the conversation. Wilder admitted that the matchup almost feels unreal at times, largely because of the massive size difference, with Paul expected to come in around 215 pounds, while facing a former world champion closer to 250. But he was clear on one point. Whether it looks staged or not, the risk doesn't change once the ropes close. In boxing, danger is constant, and weight, power, and experience carry consequences the moment the fight becomes real.
I don't know nothing, but one person would do what Jake is doing. And that's it. And I'm talking about the weight difference. For him being, well, like I said, 215 and Joshua being 250, I don't know that there was difference. I don't know no other person have done that but me that fight that. I fight guys 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds heavier than me. You know what I mean?
But if it's not scripted, then do you think it's dangerous?
It's dangerous no matter what.
Drawing on his own practice of undergoing regular brain scans before stepping into the ring, Wilder warned that the most dangerous effects of boxing don't always show up right away. The damage can surface years later once the excitement has passed, because the human brain simply isn't built to absorb repeated blows. From that perspective, Wilder framed the Paul versus Joshua matchup as something far more serious than a spectacle. In his view, it carries real implications for fighter safety and the sport's integrity, underscoring the responsibility regulators have when approving fights that fall outside traditional competitive boundaries.
Dangerous. It's dangerous. And the one thing for sure my doctors have always told me, it's like the head, they say, Deontay, understand this. The head is not meant to be hit, you know, because I always get, CAT scans and make sure the brain and stuff right and making my body right. And I always try to convince other fighters and stuff, go get MRIs, go get CAT scans and go get all that, because your outside body may feel good. You may, I'm good, especially after a fight. The adrenaline rush is still on. You don't feel nothing right now. But after this over with, maybe a week, a month, 11, you probably are developing something that can end your career. You just can't see it right now. You can't see it. You maybe can't feel it, but it's developing. And that's why I say, because the doctors always told me, and I learned from the doctors, they say, Deontay, understand, your head is not meant to be hit. Your brain is not meant to.
As Wilder's cautionary message lingers, the discussion turns to Amir Khan, whose assessment mirrors those concerns while delivering an even starker warning. Khan admitted the speed at which this fight came together makes it feel almost unreal, but he was clear about the likely outcome. In his view, the most probable scenario is Joshua ending the fight emphatically. Khan also questioned the judgment behind placing Paul in this position, suggesting that the risk involved far exceeds the potential reward. While the financial incentives are obvious, he emphasized that boxing careers don't exist in a vacuum, and Paul has a future beyond the ring that shouldn't be gambled with lightly.
Quick, it's come so quick, the fight has. But AJ by knockout, brutal knockout. Nakisa is making a big mistake putting Jake Paul in a fight like this, because he's gonna want to see him get hurt. I mean, these guys are going for the money, where really, he has a life after boxing as well. Let's hope he comes out the ring.
Khan framed the motivations on both sides as clear and very different. For Joshua, it's a lucrative opportunity in a fight that heavily favors him on paper. For Paul, it's about reach, relevance, and testing himself against the traditional boxing world. Even so, Khan warned against confusing unpredictability with probability. While boxing always allows for a single moment to change everything, he doesn't see Paul carrying the kind of power or technical depth required to truly threaten a heavyweight of Joshua's level. To Khan, the fight highlights both the massive draw of crossover events and the deeper questions they raise about safety, competitive fairness, and just how far the sport should go in blending entertainment with elite competition.
Yeah, I do the same thing, because at the end of the day, you're fighting a YouTuber, and why not? I mean, getting paid millions and millions of pounds. And why is Jake doing? Jake's just doing it for probably the fan following. Maybe he wants to get the boxing audience. But look, who knows? I mean, anything can happen in boxing. One punch can change the fight, but I just don't think he has that one punch to change the fight. It just does.
Following Khan's warning about the risks Paul is taking, the focus shifts to Eddie Hearn, who speaks from the perspective of someone directly responsible for guiding Joshua's career. Hearn made it clear that, while he is not promoting the Miami event, he will be fully involved in Joshua's corner, treating the fight with the same seriousness as any world-class bout. He emphasized that despite public perception, the team is not treating Paul as a novelty opponent. Their preparation mirrors the urgency, discipline, and tactical precision applied against top-tier heavyweights. Hearn acknowledged Paul's pride, skill, and experience sparring with large, accomplished fighters, but insisted that no amount of preparation can match the power, speed, and danger Joshua brings. In Hearn's view, Paul's only chance is avoiding a clean shot, because a full-force punch from Joshua would likely result in a decisive knockout. Even a brief lapse in focus could change everything in an instant, highlighting the unforgiving nature of the heavyweight division. Every member of Joshua's team, Hearn stressed, expects a relentless, uncompromising performance, not a cautious or sentimental one.
Deal with the zone to allow AJ to take this fight. I'll be there promoting AJ. I won't be pushing and promoting the show like normal, but you'll see me. You'll see me all week, and I'll be around AJ like I am every fight week. And we're taking this very seriously. It's not like we're not going into this week in Miami as a laugh. We're not saying, oh, it's Jake Paul. Oh, this is going to be like we're expecting a test, and we're expecting and preparing like we would if we were fighting a world-class heavyweight. I don't think you would expect anything less from AJ. He's not mucking around. He's not laughing and joking. You know, he's relaxed, but he knows he's fighting next week on a massive stage in a fight that's very important.
Hearn also addressed larger concerns about safety, reputation, and the potential backlash if the fight ends violently. He acknowledged that while Paul is more prepared than the typical novice, he is still not ready for the sheer force a prime heavyweight can deliver. Hearn framed the matchup as essentially an 8-round tune-up for Joshua, enhanced by enormous financial rewards and global attention. He explained that Joshua's approach is purely business. Arrive in Miami, assert dominance with precise, fast, and heavy offense, leave with momentum restored, and then refocus on world title ambitions in 2026. Hearn added that any top-level fighter would have accepted the fight without hesitation, given the stakes and rewards. Ultimately, he portrayed Joshua's camp as one of controlled intensity. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, just a calculated mission to dismantle Paul and move forward.
You know, and he can go over and, you know, he can't get up and the ref stop. That'll be a massive result. You know, the biggest result for Jake Paul right now is that he gets away with it by not getting hit too flush, because the artillery will be heavy. The artillery won't be, and I've lost count of how many times I've said this. Do not worry about anybody holding back. Do not worry about us going, oh, it's Jake Paul, let's not take it to... No. We're going in there, locked and loaded with the heaviest fucking artillery in the heavyweight division that will be unleashed on Jake.
Looking at everything, Joshua's cold, focused preparation in Miami, Wilder's candid safety warnings, Khan's grounded realism, and Hearn's insider perspective, the full picture of Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is impossible to ignore. This is a crossover spectacle, but underneath it lies a very real and dangerous heavyweight contest. Joshua is approaching the fight like a professional assignment, not a novelty. Every experienced voice in the sport is sending the same message in different ways. The size, experience, and power gap is very real. Paul may have confidence, marketability, and a willingness to take risks, but he is stepping into a division where a single mistake can end a fight, or worse. This matchup underscores ongoing questions about safety, legitimacy, and the responsibility of everyone involved. From this perspective, the fight feels less like a competitive crossroads and more like a collision between ambition and heavyweight reality. My prediction, Joshua by early knockout. Not out of malice, but because history, skill, and raw power all point in the same direction. The only real uncertainty is how long Paul can evade a clean, fight-ending shot.
So, and it will be unleashed sharp, fast, and hard on his chin. So the best case scenario for him is that he gets, it don't land too clean. Because when it lands clean, he ain't getting up. And the fight's over and he's getting knocked out bad. And there'll be a lot of people that will enjoy watching it. I'm giving him the respect to say, listen, you've got big balls. But he needs to get very lucky next weekend. Not lucky to win, not lucky to survive on points, lucky that the knockout is not